everyone, my name is Yanqi and today we will be making a traditional Malaysian dessert, that is cassava cake, which is a recipe passed down by my grandmother. And it is also known as tapioca cake, kueh ubi kayu, and kueh bingka. Fun fact about this is that it is actually passed to Southeast Asia when the Spanish wanted to colonize Philippines. And over time, the different countries have developed their own versions of this recipe. And today, you can find this recipe all across countries such as Indonesia, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. So the version that we are going to make today is the Malaysian Nyonya version, which consists of fresh cassava, gula melaka, and pandan. The reason why I chose this dish is because I was raised by my grandmother and this is one of the few desserts that she likes, and I wanted to thank her for being a huge part of my life and loving me, so I wanted to make this for her. And besides the emotional connection, I also feel like this is a quite challenging kueh to make because you have to get the consistency right, or else the cassava will be either too soft or too hard. So join me today, guys, as you can learn not only how to make delicious cassava cakes, but also patience, proper grating technique, proper peeling technique, and precision in measurements. Without further ado, let's start with the challenge. For the ingredients, we use 1000 grams of cassava, 2 blocks of sugar, coconut shreds for garnishing, a little bit of oil, and 5 banana leaves. For the sugar, I prefer to use gula melaka, honestly, because it tastes way better. But if you don't have any gula melaka, any sugar works fine as well. For the equipment, I have prepared cheesecloth, cutting board, peeler, knife, chef knife, grater, pestle and mortar, pot, and baking tray. Before we start, always remember to wash your hands with soap. To start off, I'm going to cut all the ends of the cassava, just like this. And notice that I only touch one end of each cassava. This is because that later on, it will be used as a handle for me to grate it, so that I can grate it easily and not bled my hand during the process. Then peel off the skin. One easy method is to make a shallow cut along the surface, and the skin will peel off naturally, just like this. However, if you leave the cassava overnight or inside the fridge, the skin will become much harder to remove. Next, grate the cassava into fine thin shreds. The reason is because thin shreds are easier to remove excess moisture inside the cassava, while large shreds are more difficult to squeeze out the water. Too much water will make the kueh mushy and soggy, and we don't want that. As you can see, I left one end uncut so that it works as a handle to make grating safer and easier. Over here, I'm constantly changing angles when it's harder to shred. When I'm grating close to the end of the cassava, I switch to use a fork to hold it. This gives me better control of the last bit and avoids scraping my fingers. This is the ideal texture we want for the grated cassava. Moving on, place the grated cassava into a cheesecloth and squeeze out the excess water in a bowl. Then, place the bowl of cassava's water to sit for a few minutes. After that, I crush the pandan leaves. I prefer using the traditional pestle and mortar instead of a blender to pound the pandan because it gives me full control on when to stop. Add a little bit of water. Don't forget to melt 2 blocks of gula melaka with low heat, as this will be added into the steamed cassava later. I'm cutting the sugar in small pieces to make it melt more easily, while stirring it at the same time to prevent it from burning. When all the brown sugar has melted, add the pandan mixture. Remember the yellowish water we squeezed out from the grated cassava earlier? Pour it into a measuring cup. It is around 1 cup. So this means that we have to divide it by half, which is half cup, and this will be the amount of water that we will need to add to our cassava mixture. So this, you can throw it away already. You just need to know the measurement of how much water we need. Refill the water, and it is half cup. This will be added to the cassava mixture. Half cup of water into the cassava mixture. The pandan and gula melaka into the mixture. Now mix. Remember this white thing? This is actually the cassava starch that is settled. So add this all back into the cassava mixture, as this starch is important because it helps binds the cassava kueh, this is cassava cake, and give the kueh a soft and bouncy texture. Now I'm spreading the cassava mixture evenly. Steam it for 30 minutes. For plating, my idea is using traditional garnishes like pandan leaves and fresh grated coconut. Pandan leaves are commonly used in Malaysian and Nyonya desserts. They add a natural fragrance and contrast of green color on the plate. As for the grated coconut shreds, it gives a light contrast in color, texture, and also balance the sweetness of gula melaka while having the saltiness from coconut. Here are the results.
Maya, sedap.
Not bad, not bad.
Nice but a bit hard. Next time can do maybe add more ingredients to make it softer.
Please try and give comments.
Okay, good. Not so sweet.
I really had fun making this traditional kueh recipe. I got to improve my plating skills and technique, learn more about our Malaysian traditional recipe, and most importantly, create moments with my family. I hope my recipe inspires you to try it at home, share it with your family, and keep these traditions alive. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye. Okay.